Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. My name is James Childress, District Director, and welcome to our second installment of our Lunch and Learn series. Last week, we had a discussion about life on the other side of loss, and today, our session will be about creating a balanced vision for your life. Our speaker is a long-standing member of Toastmasters, and with 5 kids, he knows all about the challenges of balancing personal and professional goals. On top of being a proud father of 5, Dunn is a former bank director, general manager for a multi-million-dollar IT company, and founder of the popular personal development community, the Personal Growth Channel. He was named Area Director of the Year for District 8 Toastmasters and has served in nearly every officer role at his local clubs. Currently, he is serving as Vice President membership for both League of Our Own and Capital City Toastmasters. A certified life coach, he enjoys helping people achieve their goals and especially enjoys working with fellow small business owners to streamline their business and balance professional and personal demands. Donna will be walking us through a workbook he created in partnership with Kane Ramsey, one of the world's top thought leaders of modern applied psychology. This workbook, which is called Balance, is designed to help us create a well-balanced vision for our life. I'll put a link in this chat if you want to grab a copy really quick. Otherwise, you can just grab a pad and follow along. Get your pens out and be prepared to write, as this will be an interactive workshop where you'll be creating a vision for your life. Please help me welcome Don Smith as he takes us on a journey toward finding out what truly matters in our lives. The floor is yours, Don.
All right. Thank you so much for that, James. If everybody could, make sure that you're on mute just so that we're not interrupting here. We will have an opportunity to interact a little bit, and if you could just raise your hand, we can unmute you and you can say a few things. What I'm going to be talking about today really is about vision. And what is that? It's really envisioning where you want to be. Now, personal vision is painting a picture. We're really going to try to paint a picture of the ideal life that you want. And the idea behind this is that it will inspire you and guide you as you make decisions throughout your life. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than a goal. A goal is usually a shorter thing that has a specific timeline. Now, what if I told you that in the next hour, I can tell you how to beat an Olympic archer? Let me share a little bit of that about what an Olympic archer looks like. Now, this is a video that is taken of Chang, who is an actual Olympic archer, one of the best in the world. And this is a shot that is taken from about 70 meters away. Now, that's 3/4 of a football field, for example. I'm going to share this, and then hopefully you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about when I say over the next hour, I can actually make you so that you are better than this Olympic archer when it comes to hitting the target.
Yeah, so she maybe did adjust the sight, just a fraction too much. From Korea. Oh my goodness me! If Chang can keep up that consistency. Oh my gosh! And that.
All right. Does anybody believe I can make you better at taking that shot than she is? Now, I've actually done a lot of archery in my lifetime. I was in the top 5 in state for 4 years running in high school. And my team actually took first in state the entire time. That shot is an incredible shot. I can't make those types of groups. And he noticed that she had just a tiny 2 millimeter adjustment, and it made a huge difference on that target. The way I can make you beat her is if I blindfold her, spin her around a few times, hide the target from her. If she doesn't know where the target is, she can't hit it. Neither can you. That's what we're talking about today, is really trying to define where the target is for you. And I also want to make that point that those tiny adjustments in your life can make a huge difference over time. The longer you go, the bigger difference just a fraction of a millimeter adjustment can make. You look at these space shots, people that are trying to hit the moon, and tiny little adjustments made right now can make a massive difference when you talk about 10 years time, 20 years time. And that's what I want to look at today, is where is your target? Where are you aiming at? And I'm going to take you through some things that hopefully will get you looking at a more balanced approach for your life. We're going to be looking at quite a number of things. We have about 7 items that we'll be going through, and this is part of a workbook that I put together. We'll go through the workbook, so I would encourage you guys to grab out a pad of paper and take some notes as you go through this, because this is actually going to be an interactive exercise that we're going to go through. But what I want to do is I want to paint a really good target for you, because if you know where the target is, that's the first thing you have to do in order to hit it. So vision is a clear image of how you see your future. Should be aligned with your deepest values and priorities. And that's, again, a little bit different between a vision, long-term vision, and specific goals. The vision is where you want to be in the end. You know, what do you really want your life to look like? And then goals are how you get to there. So goals are a little bit different. There's another workbook that I have that talks about goal setting. But what we're going to talk about is the vision. And I'm going to encourage you guys to really think outside the box, not necessarily where you're at right this second, but what you would really like your life to look like. So there's 7 areas that we're going to look at today. I'm going to share this workbook here. All right, so there's 7 areas that we're going to look at today. The first is social and family relationships. The second is career and educational aspirations. We're going to look at money and personal finances, your physical health, recreation, leisure, life's routine and responsibilities, those things that we have to do, but we don't necessarily always want to do. We're going to look at giving back to society and making a contribution. And then mental, emotional, and inner well-being. So those are the areas that we're going to look at today. When we jump into social and family relationships, this is a little quiz, pop quiz time, that I want you guys to spend a little bit of time thinking through. And with 10 being absolutely perfect or very high importance for you, I want you to evaluate these statements. And then we're going to put it all together and try to create a little bit of a personal vision statement about this specific area in social and family relationships. So the first one is, how important are your family relationships? 1 to 10. Again, 10 being the highest. How satisfied are you with your family relationships? Are you close to your parents and your relationships are healthy? Are you close to your children and those relationships healthy? Do the people who matter most in your life accept you for who you are? How important are strong social relationships to you? How satisfied are you with those? Do you have close friendships with people you can be yourself around? Do you have a good social network, part of social groups? Are you generally good at connecting with new people? Do you get along with your neighbors and other people? How satisfied are you with your romantic relationships? And how happy are you with the overall quality of your relationships? Next, I want to take just a couple minutes and have you guys write down a personal vision statement about this area or an area in relationships that you'd like to make some changes in. Or what do you want that area of your life to really look like? I'd like to ask if anybody wants to share that. Does anybody have a vision that they would like to share in that area?
If you'd like to share, please raise your virtual hand. It's a blue hand symbol in the bottom right of your screen under the participants window.
All right, I see a hand up. All right, Makeda?
Hi, this is Makeda Joseph, and I am part of the League of Our Own. I'm a new member, and to answer the question about a personal vision statement regarding relationships that I would like to make changes in is cultivating healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries, and but yet doing it in a way where I can help others maintain those boundaries as well, and not.
Yeah, I think that's very important.
Yes.
For sure. And able to not only love and like those people in your life, but also being able to create a boundary where you end and where that other person begins, and what's acceptable to you.
Yes, indeed.
Does anybody else want to volunteer?
Can you hear me? This is Regina.
Yeah.
Raise my hand, but I got so many screens open. But I'll go ahead. After years of absence, I am continuing to reconnect with my family in St. Louis.
Good. Good. All right. So healthy boundaries and strong family connections. I think those are both really good. Take maybe one more, and then we're going to move on to the next area. Anyone else want to offer?
Can you hear me? I'm Linda.
Yep, I can hear you, Linda.
I have found that because of the staying at home with this coronavirus, my social interactions have fallen apart, And I might have answered these questions one way 3 months ago, but now, today, I answer them a different way because I don't have those anymore because of social distancing and staying at home.
Gotcha. Well, and I think that is important to note that things do change over the time, and you may find that you answer these questions at different points in your life. You know, at one point, one of my visions was actually becoming a world-class archer. You know, as I mentioned, I was actually top 5 in state for 4 years running. And then I got out of high school and I realized that that was a very minor part of my life. And I haven't actually shot for 20 years. So as you're going through these, you may want to revisit those at certain points in your life because you may find that maybe this is an area that you need to focus on a little bit. And that's part of this life balance is when you're talking about several different things, you can't be all of these all the way up the top every single time. You know, you can focus on your social and family relationships and forget about the career and your education aspirations at some point. But these are things that you want to look at. You want to write down what you want those to look like. And then you have a target and you can make some adjustments. These are not going to stay exactly the same all the time. And there's going to be setbacks as you go through here. And that's normal. You know, if anybody says that they're successful all the time, I think that they're kidding you, or maybe they're kidding themselves. You know, social and family at one point, you know, I went through a divorce and that was not a fun situation. I had been married for 15 years and things just didn't work out. And so I had to reset. I mean, I felt like I had a lot of these things checked off the list, but life gets in the way. And sometimes you have to go back and recheck things off the list. And, you know, I've been happily married again for 8 years now. And I'm very happy with where I'm at in this point. But that wasn't always the case, and that's okay. I mean, you will have things that fluctuate back and forth, so don't beat yourself up about that. I'm sure as soon as this coronavirus is done, you will get right back out there, and I think you'll find that those friendships are still there. Next up, we're going to talk through our career and education aspirations. Same type of deal. Rate these from 1 to 10. 10, you're doing really well, or this is really important to you. The first one is, how important are career achievements to you? How satisfying are your career achievements to date? How fulfilled are you in your current work environment? How much do you look forward to going to work each day? You know, I think a lot of people think that you can't actually look forward to going to work, and I think they're missing that, because there are times where I do look forward to going to work, maybe not every single day, but most days I certainly don't hate going to work. Does your career stimulate and develop you as a person? Do you have a healthy and rewarding work-life balance? In other words, do you have work that is not completely taken away from all of your other things that we're trying to achieve here? Is your career moving you forward in advancement and reward? How important are strong working relationships to you? How satisfied are you with your current working relationships? Is your working environment positive and supportive? Do you find contentment and fulfillment in your current career? How urgently would you like a career change? And this is a big one. If you died today, would you be happy with the legacy that you'll leave behind? So again, we want to write a little bit of a personal vision statement about an area in your career education that you'd like to make some changes in. What would you like your career to look like? I'd like to ask for some feedback on the floor as well, and on this one. What would your vision statement for your work look like, or your career? All right, HK?
Hello?
There he is.
Is retirement a career?
It could be. As far as a vision statement for your career, it would be that you want to be retired? Anyone else?
And don't be shy.
Hey, Don, could you make this bullet point a little larger? Can you read it on a screen?
Yeah, let me see if I can zoom that in just a hair. A little better? I think that's about as big as I can get without going off my screen.
Yeah, that's better.
That's good. Thank you. That's good.
Anyone else want to offer up on that?
I'll take a chance to ask somebody. Melissa Triplet, are you available to speak?
Yeah, I'm unmuted. I'm a teacher, and I really love that I've trained so many people for the future. That's my career goal for my life. And I will never regret all the things that I've taught all of my students.
That's awesome.
All right, thank you.
That's one of the reasons why I actually became a coach on the side is I enjoy watching people grow. And really that's why I started the personal growth channel. Well, originally I just started sharing a few things that I learned over the last 40 some odd years, but it changed really to a community of people that are interested in growing and getting better.
All right, Tammy has her hand up.
Yes,
All right.
I am very happy with my career right now, especially with the situation we're going through. My company has been wonderful and very supportive of their employees, but I'm also the kind of person that's always looking for what's next. And so I'm also, while I'm very happy where I am, and I probably will be for a while, I'm also searching for what my next career will be and what that will bring and how I get there before I start not liking where I am.
Right. Yeah, I think these things change from time to time as well. We're going to move on to the next topic.
I will say, Don, you do have somebody, Latienda in chat mentioned, I have a vision for getting a promotion in less than 2 years and becoming an SME in my tech field.
Good. So some good aspirations there. All right. We have money and personal finances again. 10, you're doing wonderful in this area, or it's very important to you. And we're going to go through these questions again. How important is being financially effective to you? How satisfied are you with your current financial effectiveness? Do you have enough money to meet your current wants? How about your current needs? Do you know your exact outgoings each month? In other words, how much you're spending each month? Do you always know what's in your bank account? How important is being generous to others to you? And how generous are you currently towards others? How satisfied are you with how much you give to others? About charitable contributions, how important is that to you? And how satisfied are you with that right now? How willing are you to step outside your comfort zone and take new risks to generate more income? And how much do you worry about your current financial situation? Now, this money and career, to me, this is a perfect example where this balance that I'm talking about comes into play, because I can tell you how to become rich, and that is to work around the clock, develop a company, and you can probably become rich over your lifetime. You can also become financially independent by just working a regular job and contributing to your 401k regularly. And, eventually you'll probably be comfortable financially as long as you're keeping your expenses down and putting something away every single paycheck. Early on in my career, I had an opportunity to go to a different company than where I am right now. I had two offers on the table. One was a technician position with the current company that I was at, and the other was a traveling technician position. And the traveling one was about $35,000 a year more than what I would be making as a technician where I'm working today. But that was a traveling, and I had a young child, and I realized that if I want to be known as a good father, if I want to be a good father to my children, I have to be there. And so I passed up that opportunity and I took the other one. And that's what I'm talking about with balance. There are choices that you're going to have to make. Do I want to be great in this one? Or do I want to be good in this one and great over here? And that's really what we're talking about with balance. So think about the money and personal finances. We may come back to that one a little bit. I'm going to go ahead for time's sake, just to make sure that we stay on track. I'm going to move on to health, recreation, and leisure. And again, same thing. How important is establishing a healthy work-life balance for you, and how satisfied are you with that? How important is your physical health to you, and how happy are you with that? How happy are you with your current fitness levels? How important is having plenty of free time to you? How content are you with the amount of free time that you have? How important is your physical appearance? And how satisfied are you with that? Can you handle your current stress and anxiety levels effectively? How much do you currently enjoy life outside of work or study? And are you able to do things that you enjoy frequently? Do you have some rooms for improvement for your life outside of work or study? I'd like to take an answer or two there. Anybody want to offer up a vision statement for that area of your life?
Dennis James. I like to lose about 20 pounds.
Okay.
Yes.
Why is that important to you?
Because it will, I had a episode late last year with high blood sugar, and there are a lot of different factors. Weight is one of those factors. And I want to, be in really good health. And I know losing weight is part of it. So I want to make sure that I'm at a healthy weight so I can really have a very fulfilling and active life. I've had friends that my age that are no longer with me, because of bad health. And so I want to make sure I don't go down that path. And so I want to make sure that I do what I can to improve my health.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And, you know, like you said, there are a lot of people at my age that are no longer with us that did not take care of that. So I think the older that you get, the more that you realize that there are certain things on that that go beyond just looking better or even feeling better. It really becomes how long do you want to live, and do you want to live really well? I mean, have a lot of energy and things like that, which is what being physically fit gives to you. That's something that's important to me as well.
Phil, the floor is yours, sir.
Hey, James and Don. Yeah, I was going to say, this is probably one of the most important areas, I think, so far to me personally. I want to be healthy so that I can have a good quality of life as I get older. Living to 80 or 90 is, yeah, that'd be great, but it'd be nice to be able to live to that age and be able to enjoy life, to be able to do the things you want to do. And also for me, I am approaching 47. So I had kids when I was relatively old, which was good financially because I was able to provide for my kids and be more responsible for my kids. But also meant I had to have good health getting older because I'm 47 almost and my kids are 10 and 8. And I want to be able to do things with them. I do taekwondo with them. We go for hikes. And so being able to enjoy those activities with my kids, not only now, but I'm thinking 10 years down the line when they're approaching their adulthood and getting much older, and I will be approaching 60 then at that point, which, I don't know, to me that seems pretty old. And so I want to be able to enjoy those things. And I've made my health quite important and done a lot of studying on it and like making changes in my life, but also trying to balance that with the things I enjoy. Like I love drinking beer. Beer is fantastic. But I've got to balance that and do it responsibly while enjoying it, but not taking on any negative health impacts from that.
Right. Yeah, I think that balance is so important in there. And again, as you get older, I think it becomes more and more important that you realize that if you want to have a good quality of life, that's one area that you've got to buckle down and take care of. You know, I had a guy that, you know, he had a stroke and he can't even walk. And he told me, you know, you don't realize how important health is until you don't have it anymore. I'll leave you with that on that one. Life's routine and responsibilities. How important is...
Elaine has a question, Don. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What was that?
Elaine had a comment.
Hi, Don.
Yeah.
I like the idea of how you group health, recreation, and leisure together. And first, I want to say to Phil, 60 is not old. For those of us who have surpassed, I find that it really it changes from time. You're talking about vision and versus goals. My vision when I was younger, there was a ton of things I thought I was living for. As you get older, some of those things take on a different positioning. How do you see visions when it comes to aging? Is it something that frequently you see people changing their vision?
Yeah, I think as you get older, those are things that you have to reevaluate. You know, these are kind of guideposts, and sometimes those guideposts can change. Like I said earlier, I mean, when I was a teenager, I wanted to be a world-class, you know, archer, and I haven't shot for the last 20 years. So things do change. I mean, as you get older, I think that certain things become a little bit more important to you, like family, and other things become less important. So yeah, I think those can change, and I think you should evaluate those regularly. Maybe during your New Year's resolution periods. New Year's is always a good time to step back and see where you're at and see if maybe you need to make a few adjustments.
Thank you. I agree.
All right, moving on, life's routine responsibilities. How important is managing routine tasks around the house to you? Are you satisfied with how you do that? Are you disciplined in paying your routine household bills? Could you be more disciplined in managing your bills and other responsibilities? How important is prioritizing your responsibilities? How satisfied are you with how you prioritize it? How important is a well-managed home environment to you? How satisfied are you with your current home environment? How important is dealing with home issues promptly to you? Would your home life be easier if you had a better system in place for managing those? How much do you worry about your routine responsibilities? And how much easier would your life be if you were more disciplined in managing your routine responsibilities around the home? Now, this is an area that I found if you can get into the routine, you can do pretty well. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to take all day, every day to do these things. Just a few minutes here, picking up, and a few minutes there. So I think it is possible to get into a routine, to stay disciplined with that. Just like health, if you make it a habit, I think you can pick up that area pretty quickly. I want to keep moving on in the interest of time here. We have a couple more to get through, and then we'll do a little recap. Next one is contribution and giving back to society. How important is contributing back to society and making a difference to you? How satisfied are you with how much you currently give back to society? Do you regularly make a positive impact in the lives of other people? How satisfied are you with the amount of difference you make in the lives of others? How important is leaving behind a meaningful legacy to you? How happy are you with the current legacy that you would leave behind? How much do you encourage and support those closest to you? Is your time mainly focused on yourself and your immediate needs? Do you get involved with and support a social initiative that you genuinely believe in? Do those closest to you find immense value in you? You know, or would your friends say that you're a good friend? Do your peers, coworkers find immense value in you? Do you think your children will be proud of the way that you've lived your life? And could you make more of an effort in contributing back to society? I'll pause just a moment on that. Does anybody want to offer some thoughts in that area? Okay, Tammy?
This is one area that when I was out of work and it was suggested to me that I volunteer, and I've always volunteered here and there occasionally, and I got involved with a nonprofit more heavily. I'm actually on the board of directors, and so I'm actively involved. And I got to tell you, it makes a huge difference in my life, not only the lives of people I'm impacting by volunteering, but it made a huge difference in my life as well. So I recommend anyone, if you can volunteer, do it. And if you can get really involved with one, it will really be impactful.
Sandra had a quick question. Area 2, what was that? That was career and education aspirations. Moving back to this contribution and giving back to society. Anybody else want to chime in? Kathy said she didn't always have a vision for her life until after she retired. She always just went along with everyone. or everything. And joining Toastmasters was the first active choice I made towards making my vision of seeing myself speaking to others come true. And I think that's a great point, because I see a lot of people that think it's too late to do something. And while that may be true on certain things, like I doubt you're going to have a baby at 70 years old, there's a whole lot of things that you can still do. Any other comments on contribution and giving back to society? I know for myself, that's something that I found really rewarding. I got a chance to work with some kids at our church, and I actually was there with them through junior high all the way through high school. So I've been with these kids for 6 years. They just graduated, and that was very, very rewarding. You know, not only was I contributing to them, but I feel like they contributed a lot to me as well. Good. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next point here. And this is the final one. And that is your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So how important is being mentally healthy and strong to you? How mentally healthy and strong do you currently feel? How important is being emotionally healthy and strong to you? How emotionally healthy and strong do you currently feel? Are you confident and secure in who you are as a person? How fulfilled are you with the way you are currently living your life? How content are you with the way in which you're currently living your life? How important is being spiritually healthy and strong to you? And how emotionally, spiritually, and strong do you currently feel? Do you regularly invest time in developing yourself mentally and spiritually? Are you consistently competent in managing your emotions and have good self-control? Or do your emotions often manage you and you're undisciplined in self-control? Or do negative and destructive emotions often get the better of you? So I think about this as far as personal vision statement. What would you like your emotional and spiritual and mental health to look like? Does anybody want to offer a response to that?
Hey, Don, it's James. Me personally, just to sum it up, I just want to be at peace. Just have that peace of mind. And that's something that I always strive to do. And it's little small things, whether it's just taking literally quiet time where I turn everything off and just sit for a few minutes and think about things. Take a walk in a park, and don't worry about trying to walk a certain distance or for a certain time, but just walk and just enjoy nature. I take time to read something that's inspiring. So I just find different things to kind of keep me at an even keel emotionally, and also if I feel down, try to find ways to do some activities that will uplift my spirits.
Right, right. That's a great point. I really like that idea of peace, because really that's what all this balancing that we're talking about is how can you find peace in what you're doing? I mean, you can't be everything to everyone. You know, there's going to be times where you have setbacks. You know, financially, I had a situation where my basement flooded, and you know, all of a sudden I'm out $20,000 that I didn't expect to have. And those types of things come up. I mean, life's one of those things that you're constantly balancing these things. And I think being at peace is just knowing that you are striving towards these ideals that we're talking about, these personal vision statements. and realizing that life really is the journey. It's not about, did I do this specific thing today that I said that I was going to do, and now I'm beating myself up because I didn't get around to it. It's about, am I moving forward towards these visions that I have? So anybody else want to offer up something in mental, emotional, and spiritual health?
Hi, Don, Atlee.
Yeah, Lee.
Hey, mental health is really important to me, especially during this time of the pandemic, the COVID-19. There are so many people that's, having mental challenges and everything, but I have resolved not to let that control me and, take over my life. I've always say I am in control of my life. No matter what comes in my life, whether good or bad, I'm in control. And that's the way I've always lived. I've never, let things really take over. I feel like I am content with my life, but I don't feel all the way fulfilled because there are some other things that I want to do with my life. Spiritually, I feel like I'm in a good place spiritually because I have dedicated my life to Christ, given my life to Christ. And I'm just, managing emotions. I manage my emotions really well. I don't let things get to me. I pray about it and, give it to God and let him work it out.
All right.
But, yeah. I think that's about it.
Gotcha. All right, well, we're going to wrap up here. And I'll leave you with some of these questions. Summarize what your ideal life would be like. What are some of the main challenges or difficulty you're facing and bring your life back in balance? What areas are working really well for you at the moment? And one of the most important things, I think, is what immediate changes do you need to make your life feel a little bit more balanced? Is there something that you need to focus on right now? And then how would other people describe you in relation to how balanced you are? Anybody want to make any contributions to those questions? I think someone mentioned right now one of the challenges is that, we're under orders to stay home. That can certainly take a toll on people.
This is Linda. I had something to say here.
Yep.
Having people around you describe you can be very insightful because they see stuff that sometimes we don't see. So I recommend doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great exercise. If you haven't done that, is just ask some people that are close to you what they think. Any other thoughts on this one? Let's see, Regina.
Yes, I want to say that one of the things that I've learned is the importance of learning to forgive. When something happens to you, someone does something to you, or someone says something negative about you, learn to forgive. Forgive and then move on. Because the more you hold on to it, the more it creates a negative impact and has legal issues too. So forgiveness is extremely important. That was a challenge that I had to learn to accept and be able to, in order to be able to move forward and be able to create that balance.
Yeah, I think forgiveness is a really important one. I mean, it's not the same as letting people to continue to do stuff to you that you don't want them to do to you, but it allows you, like you said, to move on. And one of the hardest things that I found sometimes to forgive is to forgive ourselves. And that's something that is really important as well. Chris?
Thanks, Don. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I'm at a really good place in my life and I've achieved a lot of what I aimed out to achieve. I'm very proud of, and I'm fairly content with what I'm doing now. And I come back to this kind of nagging feeling in myself that it's not enough. And there's always, I think a lot of the times I don't give myself permission to be okay. Don't, like if things are going really well and I'm actually in a good place and I'm happy, and it's like giving myself permission to be happy with it and be okay. And that's really a challenge for me. It's like I always have to be looking for more and, pushing to do more, make a bigger contribution. What's next? And just sitting and being okay with the place that I'm at right now without the next big goal in front of me is challenging for me. So.
Yeah, and I think that's another one there's a fine balance there. Going back to the archery analogy, I actually had a situation, my junior year I was competing and I had a perfect run. With archery you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bullseye being 5, and then it goes down from there. And I had a perfect run up until the second to last shot, the second to last group that we did. We did 5 arrows at a time. And one of my arrows just suddenly flung off, completely missed the target. I mean, I had been in the center of that X ring for the last 50 some odd shots. And then I had one completely miss the target. And I looked at it and, I realized the arrow was bent. It was my fault because I didn't check it. That was something that I usually always did, but I didn't check that. And so I got a little bit lazy there, and that single shot actually cost me from being in first place in the state of Missouri. I missed that by, I think it was 2 or 3 points, and each shot was 5 points. So you can take your eye off the ball, and you can kind of miss these things. So there is a balance there of not taking your eye off the ball if these are indeed the ideals that you want to be at. But at the same time, I could beat myself up for the rest of my life for missing that, or I could say, oops, stuff happens, and I didn't get to where I wanted to be in that, and I'm actually perfectly fine with that. I mean, I've got a good story to tell, and I can share that type of thing with you guys to encourage you not to take the eye off your ball. But at the same time, you don't want to set your goals so high that you never get to the point where you enjoy today, because you don't know if there's going to be a tomorrow. You can't change things that happened in the past. the only thing that you can really do is try to enjoy what you're about to do today. And I think a lot of us get so focused on the future or so focused on the past that we forget that we need to live in today and to appreciate it. And that was a hard lesson for me as well, Chris. I appreciate you bringing that up because I'm sure a lot of people have dealt with that. But, you know, learn to forgive yourself for things in the past and learn to not be so focused on the future that you ignore the fun that you can have today and the appreciation you can have today. So again, I'll leave this up here at the end. These are the 8 areas. Zoom out just to here. 7 areas. Social and family relationships, career and educational aspirations, money and personal finance, health, recreation and leisure, life's routine and responsibilities, contribution and giving back, and mental and emotional and spiritual life. And I think if you take some time and actually think about where you want to be in each of these areas, take some time to just write these things down. It will give you a target to hit. And if you're aiming to that target, you don't necessarily have to hit the little X to win. You don't have to hit the very center of that target. You know, we looked at that Olympic archer early on, and people were oohing and ahhing because she got pretty close to the center of that bullseye. She wasn't in the exact center, and you don't have to be either. So I want to make sure that you understand that you don't have to get to the exact center of this vision. It's just supposed to be something that can help you when you're taking your shots to try to, instead of grouping it over here, to group it closer to the center. With that, I think we're just about out of time. I'll go ahead and wrap it back up. James, is there anything else that you want to say?
I want to say thank you for a wonderful presentation. It definitely has a lot of relevance in this day and time with the COVID-19. So we all can look at ways to getting our life back in balance. And I really appreciate you taking the time to share. And I would like to, on behalf of District 8, present to you this certificate of appreciation for your outstanding service in the Lunch and Learn Personal Growth Series. Again, we really appreciate you and the insight that you shared with us. And we hope you will continue to do so.
All right. Well, thanks so much. If anybody would like a copy of this workbook or the goals workbook that I mentioned, you can go to personalgrowthchannel.com and click shop. And those workbooks are available in the shop. I'll send out a link here in the chat as well. Hopefully everybody got a lot out of this, and it's been fun.
All right. All right, thank you for showing up. And we have 2 more installments left. Next week, we have Kelly McCormick, and she used to be a executive trainer for Tony Robbins. So she will present for us next week, and the following week will be our last week on June 10th. So again, thank you all, and please don't forget to visit Don's website. Take care.
Thanks, guys.